Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Introduction, page number 7. The subject of Bhagavad Gita entails the comprehension of 5 basic truths. First of all, the science of God is explained, and then the constitutional position of the living entities, jivas. There is Ishvara, which means the controller, and there are jivas, the living entities which are controlled. If a living entity says that he is not controlled but that he is free, then he is insane. The living being is controlled in every respect, at least in his conditional state. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter deals with the Ishvara, the supreme controller, and the jivas, the controlled living entities. Prakriti, the material nature, and time, the duration of existence, and the whole universe, or the manifestation of the material nature, and karma, activity, are also discussed. The cosmic manifestation is full of different activities. All living entities are engaged in different activities. From Bhagavad Gita, we must learn that what God is, what the living entities are, what Prakriti is, what the cosmic manifestation is, how it is controlled by time, and what the activities of the living entities are. Out of these 5 basic subject matters in Bhagavad Gita is established that the Supreme Godhead or Krishna or Brahman or the Supreme Controller or Paramatma, you may use whatever name you like, is the greatest of all. The living beings are in quality like the Supreme Controller. For instance, the Lord has control over the universal affairs of material nature, as it will be explained in the later chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Material nature is not independent. She is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord. As Lord Krishna says, Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. This material nature is working under my direction. When we see wonderful things happening in the cosmic nature, we should know that behind this cosmic manifestation, there is a controller. Nothing could be manifested without being controlled. It's childish not to consider the controller. For instance, a child may think that an automobile is quite wonderful to be able to run without a horse or other animal pulling it. But a sane man knows that the nature of automobile engineering arrangement, he always knows that behind the machinery there is a man, a driver. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the driver under whose direction everything is working. Now the jivas or the living entities have been accepted by the Lord, as we will note in the later chapters, as his parts and parcels. A particle of gold is also gold. A drop of water from the ocean is also salty. And similarly, we the living entities, being part and parcel of the Supreme Controller Ishvara or Bhagavan, Lord Sri Krishna, have all the qualities of the Supreme Lord in minute quantity, because we are minute Ishvaras, subordinate Ishvaras. We are trying to control nature as presently we are trying to control the space or planets. And this tendency to control is there because it's there in Krishna. But although we have a tendency to lord it over material nature, we should know that we are not the supreme controller. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. So there are basically 2 paragraphs in page number 7, and very basic important truth is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada here. There are 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. And what are they? Who is God? Who am I? What is my relationship with God? What is the material nature? And what is my relationship with the material nature? 5 points are the basis of the Gita, the 5 questions. So basically, Gita covers Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. Ishvara, or the supreme controller, Jiva, or the living entities. We are all Jivas, we are controlled, and God is the controller and we are controlled. Prakriti, the material nature. Then Kala, the time factor. We all know that time is there. We all acknowledge time. Even the scientist acknowledges time. Time is a universal phenomena. It is there. And lastly, karma, our actions, which determine our life, this life and the future life. So these are the 5 points that Gita basically talks about. I repeat, Ishvara, the supreme controller or God, Jiva, the individual living entities. We are Jivas. Prakriti, or the material nature. Then Kala, time factor. And lastly, karma, our actions. These are the 5 points that you have to keep in mind that is Gita basically all about. So in the 18th chapter, 700 slokas, we get over and over again reinforcement of these 5 tattvas. So I finished the introduction, page number 7. In next episode, we'll move to page number 8. And now let us move on to the battlefield where the war is about to begin. So last episode, we saw that the war, both the parties are arrayed in the battlefield. The war is about to begin. Duryodhana is giving a pep talk to his side of the army. He's describing both the sides. And then Bhishma Pitama blows his conch shell. Text number 12 and 13. Sorry, we finished verse number 12, so today it's verse number 13. Tata Shankascha Bhairyascha Panavanaka Sahasevabhyahanyanta Sashabdastumulo Bhavat. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Purport. Well, this doesn't have a purport, so we move on to the next verse. Verse number 14. Tata Shveterhayiryukte Mahati Syandane Stitau Madhava Pandavaschaiva Divyau Shankho Pradatmatu. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In contrast with the conch shells blown by Bhishma Deva, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Jayastu Panduputranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana, which means victory is always with persons like the son of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there because goddess of fortune never leaves alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were waiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated has been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna, and this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it was drawn over the three worlds. So, after Bhishma Deva blew his conch shell, suddenly everybody starts blowing the conch shell because Bhishma Deva was the eldest, most senior member. And when the most senior member gives the signal for the war to begin, everybody follows suit. So everybody blows their respective conch shell. In the next verses, we'll find the names of the conch shells of each warrior, each important warrior. So after Bhishmadeva blows his conch shell, there was suddenly a lot of sound, tumultuous sound coming because everybody blew the conch shell and there was drums and bugles and all that to indicate the beginning of the Great War. In movies, when the hero comes, they do a special effect. First, the wheel of the car, if he's coming in a car, the wheel of the car is shown in close up. Then, as he steps out, his feet is shown in close up, and slowly the camera moves towards his face. So, here we find something similar. Now, just as our hero, Lord Krishna and Arjuna, is entering the picture, till now they have not come into the picture. Now they're coming into the picture. We find that first the description of the chariot is given. Even before the chariot, the horses is right in front of the chariot. And they are spotless white horses. And drawn by spotless white horses, Shwete, hai. These are the words to describe the white horses. The white horses are seen first, and behind the horses is the beautiful chariot. Syandane, in Mahati Syandane Stitau, in the great chariot behind the white horses, is Madhava. The word Madhava indicates is Krishna has numerous names. So the word Madhava indicates the husband of goddess of fortune. Goddess of fortune is none other than Lakshmi Devi. And Lakshmi Devi's husband is Madhava or Krishna. And Lakshmi Devi is there always with her husband. She doesn't live alone. So wherever Lord Krishna is there there's opulence, there is Aishwaryam. So in this verse, we are getting an indication of what is going to happen in the future. This war has not even begun, but Srila Vyasdeva has used these particular terms to give us a hint of the future outcome of this battle. Madhava is coming, which means Lakshmi Devi is coming. How can there be any destruction or damage where Lakshmi Devi and Madhava, both Lakshmi Narayan, are there? There has to be victory. So indirectly, we are getting an indication that victory is on this side where Madhava is there. So Krishna, and behind Krishna, Arjuna, the scene, they're just entering the scene. And also a very key important word is transcendental conch shell. Divya Shankha. Divya means transcendental. Vyasdeva has used the word Divya to mention the conch shell blown by Krishna. It is not an ordinary conch shell, it's divya, it's transcendental. That is another indication, another hint that this side is going to be victorious. So that was verse number 14. So there are several hints given in these verses that gives us an idea which side is going to be victorious. And definitely the side where Madhava is there. People make a mistake. Now, this is a secret. People make the mistake of worshipping Lakshmi Devi alone. They put a picture of goddess Lakshmi in their office or store or house and they do puja of Lakshmi Devi, but that is not the correct way to go about it. That's incorrect. Lakshmi Devi automatically comes when you worship Vishnu or Madhava or Krishna. But if you just worship Lakshmi alone, it is not sure if she will come or not come. But if you worship Narayan, then definitely you don't have to worship Lakshmi Devi separately. If you worship Narayan, it is understood that Lakshmi Devi is right next to Narayan. So please don't worship Lakshmi Devi alone. She doesn't like to be alone. She wants to be with her husband. So if you're worshipping, worship Lakshmi Narayan together. So that was verse number 14. Next, we will do verse number 15 and 16 to 18 is a description of the different names of the consuls of all the great warriors. And that we'll do in the next episode. Hope that you understood something or you have gained some benefit out of the reading of Bhagavad Gita as it is. By Srila Prabhupada, publication by ISKCON. Please, if you like it, please give a thumbs up. Feel free to share and do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. See you next time. Till then, Hare Krishna.